Let Jean get her jacket off. And
Give a little warmth into the room with you. Get some body heat in here. Uh-oh, okay.
Hi, I'm Jean Goodine.
all right, I call to order the December 13, 2021 meeting of the Town Council for the Town of Washington, Virginia. And we have an agenda in front of us. We have several things that I'd like to move to add to the agenda. First is, this is going to be something that I'd like to do right after the minutes, and that is the appointment of an acting town attorney. That would be between the minutes and the report. And then under new business, B, talk about some vacancies in the town. C, appoint an acting Foia officer. D is to propose continuance of this meeting with a closed session. And along with that, Joe, help me with some language for the rest of the agenda.
A discussion
A review of different actions, of recent actions.
review of zoning administration actions and appointment of an acting zoning administrator.
Okay, all right. And then finally, the last one would be request from the ARB. So those will be the agenda items I am adding. Request from the Architectural Review Board, the ARB. Are there any other additions or changes that want to be brought up at this time? All right, there's a motion. Is there a second for the motion?
Second.
All right, I should have asked now if there were any additions or discussion or questions. If not, we have a roll call vote to approve the amended agenda. Jean?
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. We have the minutes from the November 8th meeting of the Town Council. Are there any additions or corrections or deletions that need to be made?
Look good to me.
All right.
I make a motion that we accept the draft minutes.
I second.
All right, we have a motion and a second. Is there any discussion? If not, a roll call vote to approve?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. As mentioned with the amended agenda, I would like to, we have the pleasure and benefit of Mr. Martin Krim here tonight to serve as the acting town attorney. So what I would like to do is make a motion to appoint Mr. Krim as the acting town attorney through this Friday, December 17th, to assist the town in any legal questions it may have between now and, say, end of business on Friday, December 17th.
I so move.
You second?
I so move.
Move?
I'll second.
All right, thank you. So Marianne move and Joe second. Any other discussion? And roll call vote to approve?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 Thank you very much. All right, mayor's report. All of this sounds a little bit mysterious, and I'll explain it all now. I am deeply saddened to say that Mr. Bennett, who has provided 26 years of service to the town of Washington as the town attorney and then most recently as a zoning administrator, has tendered his resignation. I have certainly enjoyed working with Mr. Bennett and found that he was a font of great legal knowledge as well as a knowledge of racing cars and other esoterica, and he will be deeply missed. I hope that we can, everything has been very sudden. We received his resignation late this afternoon, and so I haven't had a time to really give him the kind of send-off he deserves, and so I'd like to have an opportunity to laud him perhaps a bit more, or honor him a bit more, perhaps at the next meeting. But I did want to make that announcement. We are sad to see him go. As is the crucifix that I bear at every meeting, the post office, the plantings are done and look absolutely lovely. And most of the work has been done on the inside. I understand that there is some, from the postmistress, that there is some IT work that they're waiting to get done. They are going to be putting up the signage. I think they're supposed to get the signs in later this week or next week. So that will go on. Obviously, we're in the midst of holiday season, so any move to the new post office will not happen until the new year. The next thing I wanted to bring up is a thank you to Dot Lessard, that's Lessard, and Kim Nelson for all the work they and countless others did to make the Wonderland in Washington, or Winter Wonderland in Washington, on Sunday, December 5th, a wonderful event. We had several hundred people at this event, and it all happened because of a great amount of planning and volunteer time from a huge number of people, not only in the town, but also in the county, and we are grateful. We're very much looking forward to having the parade in Little Washington again next year, but in the meantime, they did an extraordinary job in pulling everything together. So I want to give a special thank you to those two and to the many others who participated and helped out. I'd also like to thank Drew Mitchell, who provided us with the use of Avon Hall for this event, and made it, as I said, a wonderful event. Many of us got a chance to attend. And finally, I want to thank the Washington planters for all that they did, for the wreaths and just doing all the little bit to add a little festive attention to the town. So we are grateful. Thank you so much. And that is my mayor's report. Planning Commission, I have a report? I'm sorry, do you mind using the microphone?
The Planning Commission met at the end of November. We focused most of our time on planning for the next comprehensive plan review that is due in September. Our thinking is that we will move to have the first public hearing in January, after the appropriate advertising in the local paper. We want to, as well as review the present comprehensive plan that was put through in 2017, we want to especially look at a number of issues. We want to look at whether it's still appropriate, as the comprehensive plan did in 2017, to call for a population of 250 of the town. We want to look at the impact of renewable energy and solar energy and what that means for individual and town energy. We want to look at connectivity and the issue of hotspots. And of course, we want to look at what possible, where we go on issues such as PUD development and boundary adjustment, given kind of what will have been achieved by the time we put through the plan. So the idea is to do it in a very participatory way, start in January, and then have, if necessary, a series of hearings through to September.
Great, thank you very much. The Architectural Review Board, I'll go ahead and give a brief talk, a brief presentation. The Architectural Review Board met, had 3 applications, 2 of which were approved, and the third was, because of the complicated nature of the application, they are going to go ahead and have, instead of the regular meeting on January 12th, they're going to have a work session on January 12th, and then have their regular meeting on January 26th. And this will be dealing with the residential units in the Rush River project. And I have below something about that, and I'll talk about that later. That's the Architectural Review Board's report. Ms. Swift, Treasurer's report.
Thank you. You have the monthly report in front of you. And on what we've also been doing is looking at the permit and zoning fees, so I would like to request that that be added to the January agenda for a discussion. Nothing outstanding, unusual on the bills to be paid. We did make the annual donation to the fire department of $8,500. You have any questions?
Has Atrium finished their work, or they still have more to do?
That's a question for Barbara.
Has Atrium finished up their work, or are they still got more? Okay.
What you're seeing in front of you is the pump installation.
Okay.
Gail, I guess I just say on the fire department one, just to clarify, we're a pass-through. The Commonwealth gives us that money, and then
No, this is our annual,
is it our
this is our
annual?
annual
Okay.
donation, not the pass-through. Yeah.
All right. Ms. Swift, do you want to make a motion for the approval of the checks?
Sure. I make a motion that we approve the bills to be paid as presented in front of you.
All right. Do we have
A
a
second.
Mary Ann seconds. Roll call vote. Jean?
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right. That is done. Public Works Committee.
Go ahead.
So we continue to march through our meter replacement process, and mercifully it is coming in considerably under budget compared to what we had hoped for. So there's been 5 more meters replaced. We have 4 more scheduled over the next 2 months. We hope to sort of wrap up the whole meter replacement plan come the end of this fiscal year. So good progress there. In some cases, those meter replacements have paid for themselves in short order after the replacement. We're also kicking off the valve inspections next, or the week after next. So this is to correct, we had the valve issue when we had the leak in Main Street. So this is going through and checking all those valves and making sure in the future we can isolate those. We're also moving forward with a project down at the treatment plant to treat the exterior tanks to preserve them and deal with some corrosion issues there. That'll happen in January. Yeah, making some very positive progress. The ARPA funds have come in particularly handy in helping us with some of these recapitalization issues. And we're actually, looks like we've got a little bit of a buffer this year so far. Still, as we're going to deal with momentarily, still operational losses. But as far as our recapitalization costs, a little less than get us some margin there. Cross our fingers for no traumatic issues with the plant. But that's all I have for Public Works.
Not really. I think on the Public Works, probably want to talk with you a little bit about tanks.
The preservation.
Yeah.
No, I know we've got more to talk about.
Yep.
We're looking to get that done.
Yep. No, I think we're on track. Getting the meters replaced is going to be a big plus. As you noted, we're ahead on that, which is good. Otherwise, at the wastewater plant, I think we're in pretty good shape, like Barbara was mentioning. We still have a little bit more work to do. And this is, just so people understand, some of this is age of the plant. We're getting into 15 years now, somewhere's in that window. So some of these things are occurring. Some of it is correcting incorrect installations. So there's some things that we have to do because proper installation wasn't done. So unfortunately, we have to bear that. But to the good, Atrium has been very good about this. They thoroughly understand these situations, and so the corrections as they're being made are long-term fixes, so we should not have to encounter these again in the foreseeable future. It from.
All right. Thank you very much, sir. Any questions from members of the town council for the infrastructure committee? All right. The next is electronic participation in council meetings and electronic meetings. This is something that we have been looking at. Marianne, are you kind of guiding us through this process?
I can, if you'd like.
If you wouldn't mind.
Yeah, we asked John Bennett to take a look at this and put his final okay on it. Although I noticed that some of the things that I sent to him are not on here, but Jean, are your things on
No.
here? No. Okay. So
both
we may
of
wanna
us
table this until the
do-
next meeting.
Okay.
John Bennett,
All right.
both substantive and
Yeah.
suggestions, corrections, reflected in.
Okay.
I think
So
we need to
there's two
wait
of us who
until.
sent things and they're not on here.
Right. We'll just have to-
Sure, we can do that.
They were, for me, some of them had to do with the policy, not exactly reflecting what the code was. It's sort of important.
Can I ask Mr. Krim, have you encountered this before, this type of? Okay. So you're going to be very adept to reading it, seeing what has been proposed, and then the edits that councils are recommending to this?
Yeah.
Okay,
Yes, absolutely.
good.
All right. So that will be tabled till January. Water and sewer rates?
I'll handle that, if you like.
Yep, I was looking at you.
Okay. As you know, we have talked about raising just the sewer rates from $40 to $48. We had so much on the agenda for today, we did not add a public hearing for that, so we will add that to the opening of the January meeting so that we can proceed on that. Is that correct, Mr. Krim?
That is the process here.
Yes.
Ma'am.
I think given our extensive public debate of this issue for the last 9 months, it's not necessarily required in this case. I understand the advice of the council in this.
Yeah.
But I don't think that somewhat member of the public is we have not adequately debated this issue or the council feels otherwise. I don't see why we can't move this.
Mr. Krim,
Yes, sir.
sorry to put you in a very difficult position
Right.
at your first meeting.
I'm used to it.
There you go. Well, then you earn your nickel here. What's your viewpoint on this?
We
So-
have had public hearings on this.
You have had public hearings on this? The only issue, and it's a fairly minor one, but you never know what's going to make a judge sit up and take notice, is that you're supposed to provide notice in the newspaper for 2 successive weeks. And one of the things that has to be in the newspaper ad is that the ordinance that will actually accomplish the rate change is ready for inspection in town hall. And if that is not present, would a judge say that wasn't adequate notice? It's certainly safer, and I'm a risk-averse person, as you will come to know. It would be certainly safer to go ahead and advertise for the 2 weeks in the newspaper with the necessary elements so that everybody has notice. there's always one person who, didn't come to the meetings, didn't read the paper, maybe doesn't even live here much of the year. I run into that from time to time where the people are residents or ratepayers, but not residents. So it's how much risk do you like?
Is the idea is that the new rates would go into effect January 1st? If we hold off until after the meeting before we send out bills, can the bills reflect the rate change to January 1st if we approve it at the January meeting?
Legally, yes, you can make it retroactive to January
Okay.
1st.
Okay, then why don't we go ahead and
I'll-
do that then? Thank you, Mr. Whitehead, for being gracious. All right,
Thank you, Joe.
so we will put that off to January 2. Yes, ma'am.
Yes. I'll work with you on the draft language.
All right. We have the ARB vacancy. We have, I would propose, there has been some expressed interest that I think came along very late, and I would propose that we extend the deadline until the January meeting and make a decision on appointing someone at the January meeting. And I would appreciate any thoughts that town council members might have.
I second that.
Yeah, I do.
Okay.
We'll have adequate time to act before the.
All right. I don't think that needs a roll call vote. I think it'd be just a voice vote. All those in favor of moving this vacancy to extending it to January, please indicate by saying aye.
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 Any opposed? All right, thank you. We have under new business a discussion regarding pools. This is becoming, there are actually two issues. One is pools, and the second issue is solar panels that have come up in front of the ARB, and the ARB doesn't have very clear information on this, and the zoning is a little tricky on this to such an extent that it really needs to have some further evaluation. And I would recommend, at the advice of Mr. Bennett, that these be referred to the Planning Commission. Let them look at developing some ordinances for pools first, and then solar panels when they have an opportunity. I know they've got a full slate, but we just want to add a little bit more to their plate. Sorry. But we'd like to, I would recommend that we refer these to the Planning Commission and the deal with the pool ordinance creation with as much due haste as they possibly can. That would be my recommendation. I guess I make a motion to do that. If there's a second, then we can have a discussion.
A second.
All right, second. Is there a discussion?
I might suggest that we hold this open.
All right,
I second.
Given other.
all right,
You're making a motion? I second.
all right. Well, then I will defer my motion. Or are you all right if I remove my motion?
I don't think it's too early to ask the Planning Commission to start working on some drafting.
I'd like to get,
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay,
so
then we
it's-
can
yeah,
put it, then we can,
We're early enough in January because of.
yeah, that's
holiday.
right. Okay,
all right, so are you all right with,
I'm fine.
okay. So we have a motion to defer this until January. We have a second from Mary Ann. Roll call vote to, any questions, Mr. Prim?
No, I would just note that that gives you time to write a resolution so that you can have a resolution of, to refer it, and that's the proper and accepted way to do it.
Perfect, all right, thank you very much. Roll call vote, Jean?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. As mentioned earlier, we have vacancies for the town attorney and for zoning administrator. So this is a way of announcing that there are these vacancies. And we are looking at candidates for these. If you know or have an interest in either of these positions, I would say please let the town clerk know in the next few days, 3 days, say by Thursday, end of day Thursday. That would be December 16th. Along with that, we have the need to appoint an acting Foia officer. This will be in consultation with Mr. Krim about this in the long term, but I think just until Friday, we need to have an acting Foia officer, and then we can make a decision at that point. So I am making a motion that we appoint Barbara Batson, the town clerk, as the Foia official until end of day Friday, December 17th.
I second Lucky Barbara.
All right. Yes, she is on the spot. Is there any other discussion?
You haven't asked her if she'd accept if she's not.
Do you have a choice?
No.
I heard a yes. Okay. Roll call vote to approve?
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. I think the next part is that we're going to have, I don't know if this should be brought up now, a continuance of this meeting, should that be done at the end, or could we bring that up now, Mr. Krim?
Either way.
All right, well, I'm going to bring it up now, just so that people, because at the end of the meeting will be after a closed session, we may lose much of our audience at that point. So I am proposing that we have a continuance of this meeting with a closed session on Friday, December 17th, a closed session. Mr. Krim will give us the language to it, but it is to deal with personnel issues, I think would be the right way to put it.
Deal with the appointments of the vacancies and
Yes.
town attorney, town zoning
And
administrator.
interviews.
Yes.
So a continuance of the meeting to Friday, December 17th at 2 p.m. As part of that meeting or that continuance, there will be a closed session to deal with personnel issues. And Mr. Krim, I presume when we put the advertisement in or the notice out that you will give us the right language for that.
Yes, sir.
Can I have, so I've made a motion, is there a second?
Second.
All right. Mr. White?
No, I was just going to say, we may, assuming all parties have the time to do it, we could amend this to make sure that we go ahead and deal with the electronic attendance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I have a quorum here?
They need legal.
That's what's
Right.
going to happen.
Yeah, and we can
He'll be there.
provide that. Oh, no, but the meeting is a continuation of the full council meeting, so we can address whatever we would like during that meeting.
It's a very different issue.
It's okay, it's fine, if you don't want to do it, Dina, it's fine. Suggestion to,
That's fine with me.
But
But
it would
yeah, it'll
be
be,
part of the
there's
open
a,
meeting.
Friday will be a continuation
It
of this
would not
meeting.
be
You'll
part
have
of the
both an
closed
open and
session
closed
on that.
session. So it'll just be a continuation of tonight's meeting. That's,
So
There would be no closed session tonight.
there
No,
will be
we
a
still,
closed session.
yeah.
We aren't getting out of that, sorry.
Sorry. I promise it will be short, Patrick.
So the meeting would have, it would be an open, it would be a public meeting on Friday to deal with any continuation of issues that are open now from this meeting, plus the possibility of discussing further the electronic meeting we may decide at that point still to defer. And then after we finish the open component of the meeting on Friday, we will then go into closed session.
This gives us the option if it's on the agenda.
Right.
That's all.
Okay. So we have a motion, we have a second. Any other discussion? A roll call vote to approve the continuation of this meeting? Jean?
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right. Thank you very much. My glasses keep slipping down. Finally, the Architectural Review Board has found that there are some technical components that they are dealing with, and right now the Architectural Review Board does not have an architect serving on the board. And so they would request up to $5,000, but they are quite sure they're not going to come close to using that amount, but they'd like to be able to employ, if they can't find voluntary, to employ, have the ability to employ the services of an architect to help them with some of the technical issues as they're trying to resolve and work on the residential units for the Rush River project. Normally, I would not support this. However, I think the Rush River project is an important project. It is a landmark for the town. It is precedent setting in the sense that it is the first planned unit development, and I think for all parties and all the citizens in the town, we want to make sure it gets done right. And so I think that's part of the reason why they'd like to request to have the funds available if possible. So I make that motion. Is there a second?
I'll go ahead and second it, seeing as how you already twisted my arm. Treasurer has tight purse
The
strings.
treasurer is tight, and we are grateful for loosening those bonds just a little bit.
Barbara may kill me.
May we have discussion on that motion?
Yeah.
Since it appears that it is a one-off necessity, wouldn't it be possible to enlist an architect who would work pro bono on behalf of the town, offer his skilled expertise?
Yes, and I didn't make it clear, but they are going to try to get voluntary service first, if at all possible. But there's also a time component, and if they are unable to find someone from a volunteer who be willing to do it pro bono, they want to be able to have some funds available if necessary.
I see.
Does that make sense? Okay. Any other questions?
And the chair did say that he had a lead on a couple of possibilities pro bono.
Yeah.
So this is just backup.
Any other discussion? If not, roll call vote to either approve or deny. Jean?
Yes. Sorry.
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right, thank you. I think we are done. It is now
One
for
last
us.
item.
The public forum, how could I forget? I
No,
apologize.
one last item before that, it's dealing with.
Yes, I'm sorry, go ahead.
So I have a motion to make for the council that we set aside all actions taken by the outgoing zoning administrator following his notification to this council of his intent to resign on Saturday, December 11th. That all applications be under his consideration at that time be held over until the appointment of a permanent zoning administrator. In the interim, that we appoint the town clerk, Barbara Babson, to serve in the role of acting zoning administrator, with duties limited solely to the receipt of and the review for completeness of zoning applications.
Good, that sounds great. Is there let's wait for the discussion. Do we have I'll go ahead and second that. Let's have town council discussion, and then I see that there's someone from the public that would like to provide something, so.
Well, I'd like to hear because she's the chairman of the zoning
Planning
commission.
commission.
I'd like to hear
Commission.
what she has to say first.
Chairman? I really wanted to ask how long you anticipate that's going to delay everything for. I know that there are some people who are waiting quite anxiously for decisions, and it's the reputation of the town that's always on the line when we delay and we take a long time. So what do you anticipate is going to be the impact?
We anticipate taking action on the new zoning administrator on Friday.
I'm sorry?
On Friday,
So you're
December
just
17th.
delaying it till Friday?
correct.
Okay.
Well, the actions will be until considered by the new zoning administrator. I think we could time bound that and say that within 30 days,
if not sooner.
if
I
not
think.
sooner, but just to give.
On the outstanding items?
On any outstanding items, the docket will be acted on but
Within
then
a reasonably short period of time.
after appointment.
No, I think in real time.
Yeah,
real time.
I'm willing to time.
Remembering that the holidays are upon us.
All right. So, thank you for your question. Any other discussion before we act on this motion? So we
Does
have,
this, in effect, mean that no decisions can be made during our temporary position of zoning?
yes, not until we have appointed a,
Let me stipulate further. I'll say that presuming we are able to take action on Friday to hire a new zoning administrator, if not, we'll take further action on Friday.
Right.
Next following 4 days, there will be actions taken on items.
any other questions?
Oh, yeah.
Yes, Nancy?
You do plan to keep the zoning administrator position and the town attorney position separate?
Yes, ma'am.
We happen to, I think we probably weren't that clear. We happen to have applications for both. Have already had applications for both of those positions. We'll consider those and any other applications we receive Friday on Friday.
Okay. Any other questions or discussion from members of the council or from the public on this specific issue? All right. We have a motion. We have a second. Motion by Joe, second by me. And roll call vote. Gene?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right. Thank you very much. Now the public forum. And I ask, and I should have said this before, please, when you go to the microphone, introduce yourself and where you live. So, I'm sorry, Caroline,
That's
I know
right.
we all know.
Caroline Anstey, Chairman of the Planning Commission. I live in Washington, Virginia. Proud to live in Washington, Virginia. I really wanted to say, and I'm speaking on behalf of myself, but I think to a great extent the Planning Commission, I really want to say I think it's a great loss to have lost John Bennett. I'm not going to comment on the zoning administrator because I think it makes great sense to separate out the positions. But as town attorney, I think he's been of enormous support. I can speak for myself to the Planning Commission, to the whole review of Rush River Commons 1 that we went through. He has an encyclopedic knowledge of the Virginia Code, but also of the town. And I really do hope we, on the record, express what a loss it is not to be keeping him. I think we've been somewhat careless to have lost him, to be frank. But that may be just my view. So, thank you.
I will acknowledge it as your view, and I will also acknowledge that I think all of us appreciate John Bennett and all that he has done for this town and want to recognize him appropriately. As the resignation came in under 2 hours before the start of this meeting, it was hard for us to give it the due weight that it deserved at this meeting. So, any other questions from the public or comments from the public? All right, if not, I will close the public forum. And we will go ahead and begin the closed session. So I thank everyone for being here tonight and look forward to seeing you at the continuation of our meeting, if you can, on the 17th, or at our regular meeting, which will be January something or another.
17th.
January 10th, 2000. Call vote to approve?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes?
Yes.
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 All right, thank you very much. We are in continuance, so we will not have a motion to adjourn. And we will continue this meeting on at 2 p.m. on Friday, December 17th. Thank you all. We got through a lot. Thank you all for your
Okay.
support and understanding. And Mr. Krim, thank you very much for all your help tonight.
pleasure.
Thank you, it was
We-
great.
Very crisp meeting. I like that. Crisp.
really enjoyed it.
We try to be efficient.